must confess, I thought I should never escape your younger sisters.
They can be very determined. Lydia, especially.
But they're pleasant girls. Indeed, I find that society in Hertfordshire quite exceeds my expectations. I don't see Mr. Bingley and his friends here this evening.
I think some of Mr. Bingley's friends would consider it beneath their dignity.
Really? Have you known Mr. Darcy long?
About a month.
Forgive me, but are you acquainted with him? With Mr. Darcy?
Yes, since childhood. But as you saw, we're not on friendly terms.
Are you much acquainted with Mr. Darcy?
As much as I ever wished to be. I've spent 3 days in the same house with him, and I find him very disagreeable.
I fear there are few who would share that opinion, except myself.
But he's not at all liked in Hertfordshire. Everybody is disgusted with his pride.
Do you know... Does he intend to stay long at Netherfield?
I do not know.
Well, I hope that your plans in favor of Meryton will not be affected by your relations with the gentleman.
Oh, no, it is not for me to be driven away. If he wishes to avoid seeing me, he must go. Not I.
I must ask, Mr. Wickham, what is the manner of your disapproval of Mr. Darcy?
Oh, yeah. Not on friendly terms, but I have no reason to avoid him but one. He has done me great wrong.
Without knowing anything about it, I'm on your side.
Thank you, Miss Elizabeth.
His father, Miss Bennet, the late Mr. Darcy, was my godfather and one of the best men that ever breathed.
My father managed his estate. We grew up together, Darcy and I. His father treated me like a second son, loved me like a son.
He intended me for the church. And it was my dearest wish to enter into that profession.
Really? Oh, you seem so well fitted for the army.
I have no taste for soldiering. The church ought to have been my profession, and would have been, if Mr. Darcy hadn't chosen to disregard his father's will.
We were both with him the day he died. With his last breath, his father bequeathed me the rectory in his estate.
But after the living he had promised me fell vacant, the son refused, point blank, to honor his father's promises.
Disregard a will? What, how could he?
For a man of honor, it would have been impossible. But Darcy chose to regard the annuity which his father left me, provided I entered the church, as a mere recommendation and not a bequest.
But why?
Jealousy. His father... Well, he loved me better, and Darcy couldn't stand it.
I knew Mr. Darcy was proud and arrogant. I never imagined him dishonorable.
To descend to such malicious revenge, he deserves to be publicly disgraced.
Someday he will be, but not by me. Till I can forget his father, I can never defy or expose him.
I wonder at the pride of this man. How abominable. You are more temperate than I should be in your situation.
Well, I've not the resentful temper that some men have.
So now I'm a poor foot soldier, too lowly even to be noticed.
And my situation, you know, is not so bad. At present, I have every cause for cheer. I cannot bear to be idle, and my new profession gives me active employment. My fellow officers are excellent men, and now I find myself in a society as agreeable as any I've ever known. You see, I absolutely forbid you to feel sorry for me.
Lizzie? Lizzie, why should you feel sorry for Mr. Wickham?
Why? Because I've not had a dance these 3 months together.
Poor Mr. Wickham! But you shall have one now.